Hey, and welcome to my number 2 Facebook Live. It's all about learning styles. So I hope you can hear me, and I am not going to spend the 3 minutes waiting. So I'm just going to start, hoping that you can hear me. Please let me know if you can hear me or if there is a problem, and also where you are watching from. And thank you for joining. So last video was all about motivation, and this one is a follow-up. So this one is all about learning styles. Are they real? Is it a myth? And if it is, what can we do and how can we learn best? So I would like to ask you whether you believe that learning styles are real. Okay, what do you think? And what are learning styles? So maybe somebody has told you, a teacher probably, that you are a visual learner, or you are an auditory learner, or kinesthetic. Has this happened to you? What does visual learner mean? So visual learners learn, and you can see I can't draw, so I did my best, but I cannot draw. So visual learner is when you prefer learning by watching. So everything to do with your eyes, you need to see pictures, you need to see tables. This is how you learn the best. And visual learner will always have a lot of highlighters. You know, you will always highlight, because that's how, this type of learning works best for you. So this is a visual learner. If you are an auditory learner, that means you learn best by listening. So you need to have an audio. You love listening to podcast, anything. So basically, you have to hear the sound. Or if you are a kinesthetic learner, it means you love doing. So anything to do with your hands, with your body. So you like to move, you like to dance, you like to mime, you like to role play, anything to do with your body. So these 3 types are the most common ones. And you can let me know in the chat if this applies to you, if you feel that, yes, Beata, I think I am a visual learner, because that's how I prefer to learn. Or you may feel you are an auditory. You remember things when you hear them. Or you are kinesthetic. You love to move, and you love to do things. You love to touch things. Now, these 3 are the most common ones, but there are 60 learning styles, identified and labeled. 60. The other ones are, for example, group-oriented. So you prefer learning in groups. Or solitary. You prefer learning alone. Or holistic, global, field dominant. There's many of them. And I don't know if you have ever thought about it, like when you learn English, and it's not only about English, it's also with anything, with any skills that you are learning. There are 2 problems with this. 1, some people and some teachers believe in them. So they think they are real. And at the beginning of the course or the program, they give you a test, they give you assessment, and they assess which learning style you are. So they give you questions like, do you prefer learning by seeing? Do you need to see the text? Do you need to hear the word? And all these kind of questions, okay? So they give you the assessment. And then they say, okay, you are a visual learner, or you are an auditory, or you are kinesthetic. Now, two problems. One day you can be a visual learner, and one day you can be an auditory or kinesthetic, because it changes. It's never set in stone. That's one thing. And another thing is, what if you are in a lesson and you believe that you are visual and your teacher doesn't teach or doesn't use the tools that you need? So there can be this problem. Okay? And another problem, what if they don't even exist? And this is a controversial topic, because as I said, some teachers believe they do. Some students maybe believe they do. You can let me know how you feel about them. But there is very little evidence that they exist. You can go on Google, you can talk, probably the best is from your experience. But the research, there is very little evidence that they are real, that they exist. So definitely, more research needs to be done. That's one thing. Now, my question is, how do we learn best? How do we learn best? So if these learning styles are a myth, if they don't exist, and if one day you can be a visual learner, that's your is a preference. We are talking about preferences rather than styles. And then the other lesson, you will be an auditory. So how do you learn best? How do you think you learn best? Now think about your learning. Think about your experience. Think about your journey when you started learning and you had different types of texts, different tasks. What worked best for you? You can let me know in the comments, or just think for yourself. And now the question is, and the answer. So how do you think you learn best? From my experience as a learner of English, because I have been learning for 30 years plus, and also as a teacher, I have been teaching English for 15 plus years. So from my experience, and because I have recently qualified as a neuro-encoding specialist, it means, as I said before, I am fascinated how the brain works. So putting all these together, how do we learn best? So this is what I feel, and you can let me know whether you agree or not. We learn best through all our senses. All our senses. Not just eyes, not just ears, not just hands, body when we move our bodies. All of them. All of them. That's when you learn best and fast. So, tip number 1, learn in multiple ways. And what does it mean? For example, be open-minded. Listen to the radio, listen to the television. These basic things you would normally do anyway. Listen to a podcast, for example. But For example, something maybe new you can try. When you go for a walk or when you run, like I run, I listen to podcasts or I listen to music. So you have auditory and you have kinesthetic at the same time. You have solitary because I am alone, and when I am in other groups, it's group oriented. So you mix all the senses together. So this is one tip. Try to experiment. I always try to push my students into drama and miming. And they hate it. They don't like it. They don't want to stand in front of the class and act or mime. It's not comfortable. But why do I do it? Because I know it works. I know it works. When you stand and you mime and you do a bit of, it's all crazy and fun. It's all senses. It's visual, auditory, kinesthetic, everything. That's the best. And I do understand that, yes, we may feel a bit like, just try. Experiment, see if it works, see how you feel, see if you get results. That's the best thing. You get results, do it. If it works, do it. If it doesn't, change it. So that's one. So learn in multiple ways. And very important thing, and some students don't get it. I ask my students to take notes by hand, not type, by hand. Why? Because there is this connection between your hand, kinesthetic, and your brain, and something amazing happens when you take notes by hand. You retain about 50% of the information when you take notes. And you may say, yes, I am auditory, you just rely on your ear. Fine, perfect. Take notes. You see a text? Amazing. Take notes. And maybe then tell somebody about what you've heard or what you watched. I will do another video just about taking notes and this amazing, tiny skill. Simple skill when you take notes by hand. And what happens to your brain. It's really interesting, really interesting. So my two tips would be learn in multiple ways. I believe that if you label yourself, if you feel that you are visual, you are a visual learner, or if you believe that you are an auditory learner, any label you give yourself or somebody else gives you, there's a danger. Because you become comfortable. Okay, I am a visual learner. I don't need to do this. And it goes further. If somebody tells you you can't learn English, you are not good with languages, this is a label. And you believe in it, so what do? You don't learn. Labels, they are not good. So don't label yourself and don't label other people. Okay? So learn in multiple ways, experiment, be open-minded, try to follow these tips and let me know how you feel. Let me know if it works. From my experience, yes, but it's all about you and your learning. Okay? And secondly, take notes and see if you remember things. See if you can retain more information. Because if you don't revise, apparently 80%, you forget 80%. But if you take notes, you remember more, 50, 60%. Okay? So my two tips. And let me know how you feel. So that was about learning styles today, whether they are real or they are a myth. Think about it. Think about whether you believed you had a learning style, and whether maybe after watching this short video you think, maybe not. Maybe I need to assess myself and think differently about learning styles and how I learn best. You can always let me know. So I hope you have found this valuable and practical. If you have any questions, you can let me know, or you can always message me with any questions or any comments. We are preparing of something exciting for you, a new program. So watch this space, because something really, really amazing is coming. And as I always say, change more than just the language. Be awesome, break average. So thank you for watching. If you are watching online now, or if you are watching a replay, think about your learning styles, but most importantly, just keep on learning. Make your learning journey interesting, exciting, motivating, varied, and this is how you learn best. Thank you for watching. All the best. Bye.